Okay, so I know we talked about magnesium. I know we talked about the different types of magnesium, but what I want to do is talk about the different types of magnesium. We talked about magnesium glycinate earlier, but let's continue to go and talk about the other types of magnesium. So we have different types of magnesiums. We have magnesium citrate, which of course is an easy one. We have magnesium threonate, magnesium malate, and those are the four we're going to talk about today. And glycinate, of course. I mean, that's an easy one. So let's go and talk about magnesium malate. Okay. So for malate, typically this one is good for energy production and muscle function is normally what you see this used in. This can help with fatigue. It helps with fibromyalgia symptoms. It can help with especially for muscle and nerve is what that's really good for as well. Some of the good sources are apples. Sometimes you also have leafy green vegetables. Those are really good too. So those are a lot of times is what you will see when it comes to malate, and that's malate, magnesium malate. Now, when we talk about some of these, a lot of times you will see these mixed in as a combination product, which is really good. So there are some out there that have combination products where you will see multiple different forms of magnesium actually in a supplement as well. So let's see, magnesium glycinate. We talked about that one. That's an easy one. What you see all the time. That's probably one of the most common ones you see. That is good for relaxation and sleep. It can help with insomnia. It can help with stress. It can help with muscle tensions. You see that one a lot. It's really good for that one to be taken at nighttime because it can make you sleepy. So if people are struggling with their insomnia, if they're struggling with staying asleep, a lot of times people will take magnesium glycinate. A lot of times for magnesium glycinate, the best, as far as food is kind of hard. The best way to get that in would normally be supplementation is what you would have to do for that one because it's harder to get that one in food. Next, we have magnesium threonate. This is for brain health and for cognitive function. So threonate, a lot of people may not have heard of, but for magnesium threonate, and that's THREONATE. So for magnesium threonate, this is for brain health. It's for cognitive health, of course, and function. And it is one of the ones that actually crosses the brain-blood barrier, which helps with improving memory. It helps with including with focus. That's typically what you would see that one for, too. Now, and there's typically no food sources for that one either. A lot of times you would have to find a good reputable supplement, which, guys, I do have some. I don't think I have a threonate on my showcase, but I do have a combination one that has glycinate, malate, and citrate in it. If you look in my cart, you'll see that. I don't have it pinned up here, but if you go to my page, you can see it. So those are the main ones. And then magnesium citrate. This is typically good for your digestive health, like relieving constipation. It's typically what you see with this one. This is good in citrus fruits. You can find it in citrus fruits and also green vegetables as well. So those are the four that we'll talk about today. Now, there are other magnesiums that I do talk about on my page. I have a video where I talk about different forms of magnesiums, but those are some of the main four right now. Like I said, if you're looking for a good supplement, always read the back, see if it has good manufacturing practices, see where it was made, what factory it was made in. Look and see if it has, if it's an FDA registered facility, and then make sure it doesn't have any extra fillers, like a lot of fillers. Now, sometimes they have to have some fillers, of course, because it's just the way when they're manufacturing it. But just you can look and see if it's a natural filler. You can look and just make sure that the list isn't too long. It shouldn't be any more than one or two fillers in there. So that's what you need to be looking for. Okay, next let's go to vitamin D3 and K2. So earlier we talked about the benefits of that, and that's typically for your bone density, for cardiovascular health, and for immune support as well. So I actually take a vitamin D3 and K2, and I can tell when I don't take it because for me, my bones and my joints are really, really achy. So I just have to make sure that I am up on taking my vitamin D3 and K2. It's really important as well. And then also the K2 that's in that will move any calcium or anything that you have. It helps it be absorbed in your bones versus your blood. and in your artery. So that's why you'll see a combination of a vitamin D3 and K2 together, because it helps move that way. Now, some good sources for vitamin D3. It's typically, of course, it's the sunlight vitamin. We know it's sunlight, but it's really hard to get the vitamin D3 that you need, or vitamin D in general, from the sun, especially if you have more melanated skin, or if you live in a darker climate, or a cloudy climate, kind of like me. I'm in the Midwest right now. It's been cloudy for the past few days. It's really, really hard. Thank you guys. I see gifts coming in. I can't, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's really, really hard to get that in from just from sunlight. So that's a lot of times people will supplement that way. Now, you do have sources like your fatty fish, your salmon, sardines. You know, I'm not eating sardines. I eat the salmon, but some of those fatty fish you can get that as well. Walnuts, you can get it. Flaxseed, chia seed, algae. You can get it from all of those. So that's a really, really good. I'm sorry, I'm telling y'all the wrong thing. I was close. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on, let me go back. Vitamin D3. It is fish, sunlight, fatty fish, like I said, salmon and tuna, egg yolks, and fermented foods. So those last two I told you were wrong. I was skipping down to omega-3s. So vitamin D3 are your fatty fish, your eggs, your fermented foods are some of your best sources that you see when it comes to your vitamin D. Okay, so let's go to omega oils here. So we talked about omega oils and how it can help with brain, so mood sometime as well. And vitamin D, guys, to go back to that, vitamin D is really, really good for mood too. A lot of times you will see for mood changes, vitamin D helps with that too. Now, when it comes to omega-3 oils, this is generally for reducing inflammation, for support of heart and brain health. It helps in joint pain and mood swings too, because it's lubricating all of your body, your joints, your muscles, and all of those things as well. Now, when it comes to sources, this is where I was talking about. Of course, fatty foods, like your salmon, good fats, right? Your sardines, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds. And chia seeds also has phytoestrogens in it. Now, with your phytoestrogens, those are things that actually act like estrogen in the body. So a lot of times you'll see phytoestrogens, and phytoestrogens are in foods like I said, the flaxseed, chia seed, flaxseed, chia seed, sesame seed, and then any of your soy products. All of those are actually are good for phytoestrogen. So they act like estrogen in the body. So make sure you're always talking to your healthcare professional, especially if you're starting to increase anything like that. Because there's some people who can't have any type of increase in estrogen. But a lot of times if you're eating those types of food, like those foods that have phytoestrogen in it, then it's okay, because but just talk to your doctor, of course. You always have to talk to your doctor, your nurse, your pharmacist before you start anything, if you know you have a medical history of anything. So yeah, so let's see. So we talked about magnesium, some of my favorites, magnesium, vitamin D3 and K2, and then also omega-3 oils. Those are some of my favorites. So next time I'm going to also talk about I have a few other vitamins and minerals that I actually like. So it's whether you're getting it in. Some people can get some of this in a multivitamin, but then some people need to supplement more. So it's really important to talk to your doctor, especially checking your vitamin D levels, because vitamin D levels can actually mimic and make menopause symptoms actually look worse, right? So it's important to make sure that you're talking to them, looking at your levels, and seeing what's going on to make sure that your vitamin D levels are okay. Yeah, so I'll also talk about some of my other favorites that I take as well. I don't take an iron anymore because I don't have a cycle, but typically if you do have a heavy cycle, then people will have to take iron. But so I won't talk about that one, but collagen is another favorite. Well, so next time I'll talk about that and some of the great benefits of it. Vitamin E is really good, and then also your B complex vitamins are really, really good when it comes to energy. So next time I'll choose to talk about those three, and we'll go into those detail a little bit more as well. So let's go up here, and I'm going to do some true or false questions that I didn't get through last time. I did a lot for magnesium, but let's see here. Let me answer some of the ones for, let's see here, I didn't answer these. Okay, magnesium citrate is primarily used for digestive health. The answer for that one is true. Typically, it is magnesium citrate. It's like a mild laxative form, which can be good for constipation and constipation relief, is what people typically take that for, magnesium citrate. Okay, let's see. Magnesium is, let me see, true or false. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. That answer is true. So it is very important for production of energy. It's important for muscle function and also any nerve signaling as well. Magnesium is good for that. So sometimes if you start to see magnesium deficiency, you will start to see some of those things get worse. So for vitamin D3 and K2, true or false, vitamin D levels should ideally be checked regularly with a blood test. And we just talked about that. That answer is true, because with vitamin D levels, as a deficiency, like we said, it can cause your bone, immune system, those types of things you'll start to see. And then also like really, really achy bones. And then also mood as well. It can affect that. And we talked about vitamin K2 and why you have to use it. And it's just to get the vitamin, to make the calcium go into the bones. A lot of times at our age, we really don't think about the importance of bone health, but it's so important because as you age, you can get small fractures, whether it is in your spine, whether it is in your spine, it's in your hips. So that's important to make sure that your bone health is good, because as you age, it's harder for you all to heal those bones. And then a lot of times it can be detrimental. If you have a hip fracture and you're older, that can really be detrimental for your survival and mortality as well. So let's do a couple of more for omega-3 as well. Let's see here. So let's do a couple of more for omega-3 as well. Let's see here. So let's do a couple of more for omega-3 as well. Let's see here. So let's do a couple of more for omega-3 as well. Let's see here. Food reduce the neurotransmitters, helping regulate mood. And then also you can, like I said, you can find those in fish, salmon, etc. Okay, all righty. So I think I'm going to get ready to end the live. Salmon, etc.